In today's tutorial, let's learn how to do the infinity rib cowl, and that's coming up next. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. In today's tutorial we're going to experience the infinity rib cowl, and this cowl is an infinity, meaning that it has a permanent twist to it, and because of that it's really kind of cool on how you do it. Today we're going to be using the Bernat Bargello yarn, and you will notice this is a bulky weight yarn, a super bulky of 6, and usually 5 is bulky, but this is super bulky of 6, and you can see that the threads or the yarn is really quite thick and fun. We're also going to be using an 8mm size L crochet hook today. I picked this comfort one up at Michael's stores, and I think it's actually quite brilliant. It's a lot easier to hold than the conventional as well. So without further ado, let's just quickly review the pattern and let's get started. So as I've mentioned, today is an infinity rib cowl, and you'll notice that even if you try to lie it flat, it'll always have a permanent twist to it, and that's because I've done it infinity style. When we go to do this, we're actually starting in the center point just like so, and because we're doing infinity, what happens is if you follow it and you follow this all the way around, watch, see? It's coming down on this side and then back around and then through the underside and then comes up and comes up through here again. So every time you go around this twice, you're actually completing both the top side and the bottom side when you're going to do infinity style. Now if you wish not to have the permanent twist, you can always change your mind when we're going to fasten off or going to secure it when we do our first once around. Again, that creativity is up to you. Now you will notice that because it is a rib cowl, it's identical on both sides, so you have the ribs on both sides, so then basically you have a reversible as well. And you will notice that the colorway in the yarn, that's part of the yarn itself. Now you don't see really the blues, the dark blues in this yarn here, but it's really in there. The color changes so slowly that you may not identify that that dark blue is actually inside this ball, so you're just looking for Bargello blue, and all of the beautiful color story that you see in this will come to life as you go. So let's start our first chain. So let's begin, and we're simply just gonna start off a slip knot. Now you'll notice in my instructions that it says chain 80. If you want to change anything within this pattern, you always have to keep it in multiples of 2, so it can be 82, 84, 86, etc. And if you want to make it shorter, then you just have to go less, so 78, 76. Just keep it in multiples of 2. Now because of that, I'm gonna show you only doing chaining of 20, so I want you to chain 80 if you're doing this. Now just substitute your yarn if you don't have access to this yarn or you wish not to use it. Remember that this is a super bulky 6 if you wish to get the same kind of gauge out of it. So I'm going to chain 20, so I'm just gonna use this yarn as normal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So if you're doing this cowl, go all the way to 80, and if this is just a tutorial sample just to show you how to be able to manipulate this in order to have it work for you. Now once you get your chain all the way done, what you need to do is that you need to insert the hook into the beginning chain, but you need to make sure that this is not twisted in any way. So do you see that it's all just straight? So make sure there's no weird twist to it. So just insert into the first stitch of the first chain and grab the yarn, pull through and through. That's a slip stitch. So now you have a permanent ring. So the infinity part of it doesn't start quite yet. So let's begin to do our first revolution, and we're gonna go in continuous revolutions all the way around this from here on in, and so there will not be any slip stitching involved. So now what we're going to do is that I would turn it over and get the back hump of the stitch in the chain. It just is a lot nicer to work with, and so get the back hump. And so if you just turn it around, you can see this is the front side. Turn it around and get that back hump. The first one is always the most awkward one to get to, and once you get that first one, it's a lot easier. So you're just gonna single crochet in this one and every one going all the way around, but I don't want you to continue to go all the way around. I want you to just stop at the end of this one revolution, and you'll be able to tell when you've gone all the way around. So just single crochet into the chain, okay, going all the way around, and just wait for me and I'll show you how to do the twist part. So I've now come all the way back around and I'm actually going to start the next part of this tutorial, but what I want you to do first is that your chain is probably gonna be all twisted and really kind of weird looking at this point, and what we need to make sure is that the chain is actually looking proper. So at this point it's actually looking flat. Okay, so there's no twist in it, and this is where we want to apply the twist. But before I do so, I'm just gonna pull up on this and I'm gonna apply a stitch marker to the first stitch in. And the reason why I'm doing that is that you have to actually rotate around this twice in order to have one complete revolution. And twice means that you actually pass by the stitch marker twice. Once you will pass by on this side of the chain, and then the other side you'll pass on the other as you go all the way around. It makes sense as you're doing it. So what you want to do is put your hook back in, and what we want to do is that we want to start off and do still continue to do a single crochet. Sorry, I'm stumbling. So basically I can see here that this is the top of the chain that I'm just doing now, the single crochet, and so if I look at it then the other side is the bottom. So in order to get the twist in it is that I have to make sure that this time, this is the last stitch, I have to immediately go into the bottom of this chain, this side. If I go into this top right here, then I will not have a twist. So if you don't want a twist, you're just gonna immediately continue and to the next part of the instructions of moving up to the number 3 of the front post double crochet. But if you want the twist when you're getting out like this, just gotta make sure that the first single crochet is in the bottom side. Now because you were getting one hump on the front side of this when you did the single crochet, there will be 2 strings on this side for you to access. So basically you want to make sure that you have just now created the twist by going directly to the bottom side of the chain. Okay. So it's like if you were doing a hat, if you continue around continuously without doing any kind of twist, you'll get like the hat. And you can clearly see now that I've gone to the bottom side of the chain, even though it's turning up at this point, is that there's now a twist in it. Okay, so if you follow what I've just done, follow it around, see it goes underneath and then comes up underneath just like so. So you're going to single crochet again around this until you get to that stitch marker, and then this is when we start to do the rib stitching. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense. It's all a matter how you twist it the very first time you're doing this in order if you want that infinity look or not. So continue to single crochet all the way back to the stitch marker area. So I've now come all the way back around, so you can see that there's a darker blue right in the center. That was your starting chain, and then this here was the single crochet that you originally started around, and when you came back around because of the twist we've now came back on the other side on the top. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense at that point. So now we're going to start doing the front post double crochet and then back post double crochet. How we do that in the first one is that we're gonna just start off with the front post. You can start off with the back if you wish to, doesn't really matter. And then we just immediately go around the post of the single crochet in the row below. Okay, just go underneath and pull through and then just double crochet as normal. So then the next one, because we've just done the front post double crochet, we're gonna just stretch things out, it doesn't matter. Just wrap the hook, come in between the posts from back side, flip it back out on the other, okay, and the post is caught in between, and then just double crochet. So let me review that again slower. So wrap the hook, we're gonna come in the front side this time, so into the side, okay, pop it back out to capture that front post. Now because this is single crochet, it's always harder, but this is the only time you're having to do with the single crochet part, and then just double crochet as normal. So then the back post, wrap the hook, come out from the back side forward, pop it back out on the other side, the back side, and pull through, double crochet as normal, and continue to do this all the way around. Okay, and then we'll just quickly review one more time. When we get all the way around, we've only actually done this side of the cowl that you can physically see on this side, and you still have this side, but because we've done a complete twist, you'll naturally just it'll naturally just want to come to you that you want to continue along to finish the other side. So again, it's just front post double crochet and back post double crochet, and then just go all the way around. So I'll meet you at the stitch marker, which is the halfway point, and then I'll show you what to do at that point. So I've just hit the stitch marker and you can see that the ribbing is on the front side up top up here, and it's down here. This is where we started it. So you can see that this side it still has to go around. So you can see that then by continuously going around, you basically are going up and down based on the twist of how it's done. So if you did not have a twist in your cowl, when you run back into this, I'm gonna be covering that in just a moment. I'm gonna just continue along and just show everybody else on how to be able to continue along. So we've gone now to the stitch marker. We want to go all the way around one more time so that we're on the stitch marker on the bottom side, and therefore the ribbing is actually done on both upper and lower sides. So continue just to follow the pattern again. So the last one was front post double crochet. So this is back post double crochet, and continue to go all the way around. So I've now come all the way back around again to the stitch marker, and now you can see that the ribbing is on the upper and lower sides. Okay, so what you can do at this point, now you have to match exactly what you have already. So I just finished with the back post. Now what I want to do is if this happens to you and you lose count, this is the place where you can just fix it, and then the rest of your project will all be magical. So what you want to do is that you can see that this is popping out towards you, so that's a front post double crochet. We want to match that, but you can see that I'm at the back post right here. So what I would do is that to do the front post once again, to maintain the pattern now going forward, wrap the hook and go behind the first one that is not right, and then the real one. And what that does is it puts it both together, and then your project will be perfectly in line with each other as you go all the way around. So now you're, for the next 3 revolutions, you are going to go around your project and you're just going to match exactly what you had. Now if you did not have a twist in your project, all you have to do is the same thing. So if you had an extra one left over, then you can just finish it just like I did by putting the 2 together, and if you had it proper, then it's okay too. You can just continue. So you just have to match exactly what you see. So the next one is a back post double crochet, so you want to apply this one as a back post double crochet, and I got my stitch marker mixed into that one. And so the next one is a front post double crochet, so you want to do a front post double crochet this time, and the next one is back. So you just continue to go around. Your entire project will take 2 Bargello balls of yarn in order to complete the size that I have in the pattern, but it actually goes relatively quickly because this is a bulky material, so it goes really quick, and you'll start to see all the colors start to jump out at you. And you can see even in this sample that I'm doing right now on camera, I haven't even got to the dark blue in the ball yet, and so then the colors just really start to play together perfectly. So you're just going to continue to go around 3 more times, or until you run out of yarn. If you want it thicker, as far as wider, then you'll just add more yarn to it, so you just buy additional Bargello balls. So at the very end, what you want to do is that you're going to continue to go around until it's prescribed to stop, and then all you just need to do in the final 3 stitches, you just want to do just a slip stitch. So just slip just like this, and what that does is it brings it back in balance. You want to keep an eye on the stitch marker that you have applied into your work in order to really count how many times you've gone around, but you will have an equal number of ribs in the center point of your particular cowl. Okay, so there's the center point here, and you will have the equal number just like this. Okay, does that make sense? Hopefully that does. And this is a free pattern. You'll love this pattern. You'll really like this yarn. It's nice and thick, and it will look great with your coats, and there's lots of colors to choose. Until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of Yarnspirations as well as thecrochetcrowd.com. Have a fabulous day, and we'll see you next time.